All right. So chat, we're gonna start off with one. I can't remember if I saw this or if one of you guys suggested this, but you guys know I like comic books, right? You know I'm a bit of a comic book nerd. So yeah, hang on a second. You know what? Okay, you guys have been asking me about this, so you know what? We'll look at that first. Hang on, let me pull it up. Where is it? It's so hard to find these. Okay. Oh, we've got a couple. All right. Well, this one is short enough that we could probably do this one, I hope, fairly quickly. Um, why don't we start off? Because a lot of people have been saying they want me to see this. So we will. Uh, Legal Mindset put something out about Johnny Somali. That, shock of shocks, he's getting even more charges. So, Legal Mindset has really been on top of this. I don't know if he's currently in Korea. I know that he practices in Korea. I don't know. Can't remember if he's actually in Korea currently. But let's see what more things Johnny is getting thrown at him. Oh, and I should probably change this stream info. Oh, shit. It already was. Damn it. Okay, whatever mod changed it back. Thank you. I'm sorry I just undid your work by mistake. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's see what else Johnny is getting charged with. And again, I want to point out, this is not going to be the end of the charges for Johnny. They are, as we speak, I have no doubt that there are more people coming forward and they're compiling even more charges. So keep that in mind.
So we've got a new crime. Now, the crime that I want to talk to you guys about, and we're going to talk about today. First, let's get to the crime. I'm not going to hold you up. Okay. So this is reported, I think, first by my good friend over there, Bang TV, who I just interviewed in Korea. And I'm going to read this off to you. I know it's a little small, but let me read this off to you guys. So in the case of Gyeongsung Passenger Bus 271s, this is a bus where Johnny Somali created an incident. The victim was identified, and the bus driver gave a statement. The Gyeongsung Passenger Bus manager was on the bus at the time, and
if it was just the bus driver, that would be bad enough. The fucking manager happened to be there at the same time. We're talking about an official for the bus company. Yeah, an official for the company was present. So this is not just the driver saying, hey, this guy was being disruptive. This is someone with, like, at least... Now, granted, I know bus manager holds a different connotation in Korea than it would, like, in the States. I.e., in Korea, bus manager is a position of importance. So that's bearing in mind for people that say, like, oh, the bus manager. Well, who the hell is the bus manager? In Korea, the bus manager is like a upper level authority in the business, and it is considered a position of significant authority within a company. So that's how serious this is, that the bus manager was present for this. And like, if it was just the bus driver might not have necessarily pressed charges, but because, is it the manager of the entire company? Or, see, Tornado, that's the thing, it says the passenger bus manager. I didn't think he was the manager. I wasn't sure if this was referring to manager of the company or of like a certain routes. That was the part that I was not clear of, but you're saying that he's the manager of the entire company, which means he's even bigger, his position is even bigger than I thought. Because this is someone that will actually say, yes, file charges. we will take this to court. We are happy to. So shit got real.
And also gave a statement about witnessing obstruction of business. The charges were acknowledged and sent to the prosecution. If there are 4 or 5 of these, you cannot go. And what that means is if these add up, you cannot not go, meaning to jail, right? So if these obstruction of business charges
he's got 2
adding up,
he's had
it's
2.
almost destined that he'll get some jail time. This is big. This is big.
And remember, this is jail time in Korea. Korea does not fuck around with this. This is not like the US where it'd be like jail time, oh, you'll get 30 days in jail. No, this is fucking Korea. This is a couple years of like hard labor jail with inmates that will fuck you up. Okay, and they're saying if there are 4 or 5 of these charges, jail is guaranteed. This is charge number 2 that we know of. There was at least one from the convenience store. That's an obstruction of business charge. You've got the business, you've got the bus. That's a second one. Is that makeup store that girl ran and hid into when Johnny was following her on the street? Are they going to file obstruction of business charges? The musicians that were performing that Johnny stepped in and suddenly started singing, I'm amazed that they have not filed obstruction of business charges. We are going to see more. I guarantee you, we are going to see more obstruction of business charges, and he is fucked. He is every shade of fucked with this right now.
Because it is adding on. It is adding on. He fucked around and he didn't realize when he fucked around on the bus, he didn't realize the manager was on the bus. FAFO. You guys who know FAFO know what I'm talking about. He didn't realize the manager of the company was on the bus. He's got a serious other charge coming his way in the form of obstruction. And once again, the first one, he might get a fine.
Is Johnny potentially uploading or streaming this a violation of his streaming ban?
What are you talking about, Tornado? Johnny's? What do you mean Johnny uploaded or stream? Why is Johnny? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm now really confused by what you mean. This was back during when he was doing all that shit before he got arrested. Yeah, okay, like when he did this, this was before the streaming ban. Okay? I don't think this is recent. I'm thinking, do you remember the video we saw where he was on the bus and had the Bluetooth speaker that was loudly playing music? And he was like going up and down the aisles and shit? I think that is what this is stemming from. I believe. I could be wrong. There could have been another incident, but I think that was the subway. It's in town. There was one I thought we saw one that was on a bus, although I could be wrong. Hi, Sal. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe this was some kind of a recent one. And if it is, yes, that would be a violation. Yeah, no kidding, Fertie. No kidding. So, I don't believe this is a reason. I think this may be just the bus manager has finally approached the prosecution or the police, and they finally facilitated charges and brought them before the court. So I'm thinking what he did here was back when he was still actually able to stream and was doing his bullshit chaos streaming. And I'm thinking, and they might have finally just brought the charges against him, and now it's being made public. So I don't think this was post-streaming ban. I don't believe. Now, again, I could be wrong.
One, the third one, the fourth one, This is where it goes. And this is not, a lot of people, other channels, I know Al was talking about this, and other people were talking about Goso versus Gobal, third-party report versus first-party report. This is a first-party report. This is not a third party. This is not some other person. It's not me whining, oh, you should go arrest Somali, which, by the way, enough of the third-party reports do add up. This is a first-party report by the company that can say, yeah, we were affected by this because this impacted us. This right here, when the bus driver has to get up and handle you and yell at you, that's obstruction. You are causing a delay. If you guys don't know, in case you guys...
He was causing confusion and delay.
haven't been to Korea, buses tend to run on time. And if you are in any way delaying the timeliness of a bus, that is huge. That is absolutely big, because that same bus is driving back and forth all day. And if you've messed them up by 5 minutes, that messes up the whole schedule for the whole day.
Yep.
So this is a big deal. All right, so let me go back into this.
They had that shit dialed into a T.
What is he facing? Okay, so what is the consequence here? So the consequence is the same as last time, quote unquote, up to 5 years in prison, in jail. However, once again, you're not going to face that for the first penalty and probably even for the second one. But let's say the first one, the one with the ramen, is a fine. The second one could be 6 months in jail, or a year in jail, or 2 years in jail.
Nice.
In the aggregate, these things can get added up. And that's where we see the real punishment for Johnny. And mind you, if this...
And what I'm going to put in here is, those are only... He's only talking about 2 charges. Just 2 charges. How many more do you think are being levied against Johnny? The ramen shop and the bus. How much more do you think is going to be happening? I believe we heard that they're levying charges against him for playing the North Korean propaganda through the speaker. I'm not sure if they were going to be doing charges for his behavior with the comfort women statues. The concert that he interrupted. I imagine that's going to end up being an obstruction of business. There's, there are God knows how many more charges that we have not heard about. We're hearing in this video about 2. My guess is there's probably another dozen waiting in the wings to get thrown on top of him. Because remember, what they're going to do is they're going to get a guilty verdict for the first charge. And they'll make it minor. Guilty verdict with the fine. Once that guilty verdict hits, all the rest of those charges are going to bury him on another case, which will make it even easier to convict him and come with even higher and higher penalties. So yeah, he's fucked.
This is added to the case. It may be very likely the date gets pushed back, or there's more delay, or there's more time for consolidation. And remember, as much as I want to stream the trial, and I deeply want to stream the trial as much as I can. Now, we can't stream the actual trial,
really,
but I'll be there at the courthouse before and after, either doing a recording or doing live streaming. And at least...
Xanax, that's what I was talking about with the comfort women statue. That's the statue that he was talking about. That's what they're referred to in South Korea. Tornado, I thought we heard about that, or it could be something else entirely. Yeah, I mean, he's got there was another one also where he did that AI video of him doing something with a South Korean streamer, but it was AI. It wasn't actually them. But they were going to be charging him with identity theft for that. He's got all sorts of crimes right now.
Outside the courthouse, right? As close as I can get legally and do a live stream or recording. But That said,
Oh, I have no doubt, Ciao Sparta.
I want to cover it and I want to get it done and I want to start doing it. That's going to be awesome. But I want to do it right. And I don't care if a case takes a year.
Yes, they are,
It needs
Tornado.
to be done correctly. And this one needs to be done correctly, slowly over time. And if they need more time to do this, please, by all means, Korean prosecutors,
That means
take 2 years, take 3 years, take as long as you want processing Johnny Somali. He's not going anywhere. And he doesn't have,
Nope.
really the resources to adequately fight back. He still doesn't have a quote unquote real lawyer. He has a public defender, but he doesn't have a private attorney, right? So he hasn't actually hired an attorney.
Even with a private attorney, he's fucked. Because you know what a private attorney would tell him to do? Throw yourself on the mercy of the court. That is the only thing he could do. Because you know what? The affluenza defense that California likes to pull doesn't fucking fly in South Korea. No, it wouldn't, Tornado, because they've locked him down. South Korea has placed a travel ban on Johnny Somali, so even with his emergency passport, he can't fucking leave. They have trapped him in South Korea legally. He can't get out. And no lawyer is going to be able to help him. Public defender or the most high-priced attorney, no one is going to help him. The only advice they're going to have for him is to throw himself at the mercy of the court because any possible defense they could mount will get shit-canned in a heartbeat by the prosecution. Because Johnny has very kindly provided them with all the evidence they will ever need, and there is absolutely zero defense to any of it. His actions have been recorded for all time for posterity, and they are indefensible. There's no excuse that even the best lawyer could come up with to get him out of it. You can't do the bullshit affluenza. You're not going to get away with temporary insanity. There is no defense. He proved that his actions aren't literally indefensible. And Revan, he can try, but the problem is South Korea is a major ally with the US. The US will take one look at Johnny's case, take one look at the evidence, go, dude, you fucked up. You're on your own. I don't think the US is going to step in. He's fucked.
Attorney who's concerned about his case. Public defenders kind of don't give that much of a shit about your case. I mean, they're not gonna do much for it. They've got thousands of cases or hundreds of cases that they're covering.
Yep.
They don't have time for you. So if he thinks his public defender is going to be like some wonder lawyer, that's not going to be it. I'm not saying they're incompetent. They're not incompetent. They're decent.
Did they outwin?
Okay. But okay isn't amazing and doesn't get you out of the Johnny Somali level of trouble.
Amazing's not even going to help him.
I have been informed that people have been contacting the judge. And I'll probably have more information on that, but apparently there have been people submitting information. And apparently the court has said to those folks that if they want to submit information, even in English, they'll be willing to consider it and take it.
That's what I was talking about. We are going to be hearing about a lot more people that are going to start coming forward with this. And they're going to be approaching the police and the prosecution, and saying, he affected me too. I want to file charges. You are going to start seeing more and more charges stacking up against him. And while they're going to be focusing on this singular convenience store ramen incident as the first one, they're going to get that locked in, guaranteed guilty. And then all the rest of it's going to pile on top, which is going to be an even stronger case, easier to win, and much higher penalties. Yeah. I mean, Johnny pissed off the entire country. And I'm pretty sure he was in Seoul for the most of his chaos streaming. You're gonna have a big fucking chunk of Seoul showing up to the prosecutor going, here you go. I don't know. I don't know if Johnny said he can't trust his defender or not. The one thing I know that Johnny said is he can't afford a lawyer. That was the last thing I heard about what he had said. Whether or not he trusts his public defender or not is immaterial. It's all he's getting, and he doesn't have the money for a private lawyer.
So that's actually really good news for those that might have been harmed and might be abroad right now, which is very, very, very good news.
Well, huh. Okay, so yeah, things are getting fun with Johnny Somali. I cannot wait to hear just how fucking bad this gets for him. Cause it is going to be really fucking bad. He is like done.